Welcome to Lights In, a meditation-based reflection, personal reflection, one that I create for myself and then decided to share with others, inspired by Annika Harris's Lights On. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I am deeply grateful for the questions Annika is raising, especially her invitation to reconsider whether consciousness might be fundamental to reality itself. She's pointing in a bold direction, and I want to imagine what that might mean, poetically, personally, experientially, this felt thing, what it feels like to consider her words in a state of meditation. Now, I hold a master's degree in folklore and another in clinical mental health counseling. I work as a therapist, and I'm fascinated by the power of story and sound. Not just what's true, but what truly transforms us. These meditations that I'm playing with blend reflection, binaural beats for brainwave entrainment, and open-ended wonder, designed to invite you into your own felt experience, like an audio Rorschach ink blot designed to allow you to explore the kaleidoscopic imprint of your own life upon the fabric of your mind. Thank you for being here. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Are you ready? Let's begin. Sound is kind of like ping pong in a way, isn't it? Air molecules hit your eardrum, and your brain immediately transforms those impacts into words and meaning and feelings. Because of the carefully designed sound frequencies used in this meditation, in order to take full advantage of your brain's transformative powers, it is important that you listen using earbuds or headphones, and that the sounds you hear right now are in your left ear only. If the sound you hear right now are not in your left ear only, change your headphones around now. Once this sound is in your left ear only, you are ready to begin to receive. Settle into a comfortable position and begin breathing deeply. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, keep your focus on your breath. 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, open, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3. Open your ears. In, 2, 3, 4. Open your ears. 2, 3. And listen. You may begin to wonder and as you listen, Quaila really is. You may begin to wonder, as Annika Harris does in Lights On, a felt experience, what Quaila really is. You may begin to wonder if it might be fundamental to reality itself. A felt experience shared by our earliest ancestors before they were even selves. And what might it mean? Through that question. To feel your way through that question. As I did while meditatively and training observed my own neurons, an idea, in exactly this same way. Let this be a reflection. When I observed a thought, an idea, naturally evolved, bubble up from my unconscious mind, and take form into meaning. A delicious, naturally evolved emergence, or a stretching of the mind, which feeling you may experience yourself today, or even right now. So let this be a reflection, a deepening, a cellular imagining, entrained by binaural rhythms into greater self-awareness and becoming. Into meaning. A delicious. Every person begins as a meeting of opposites, two separate entities, drawn together by something neither fully understood. They're merging, creating something new. A body, a mind, a felt sense of being. You are the living echo of that very first attraction. You are here because two separate lives once merged. A pattern repeated through time. You are here, a mother, or because two separate lives, each with their own. You are here because two separate lives once merged. At some point, a mother, they came together. A pattern repeated through time. A father, perhaps, be it a mother, each with their own bodies, or a father, their most likely longing involved. Each with their own bodies, their own longings, in each, at some point, their own stories. At some point, they came together, perhaps in love, and somehow the truth is this, perhaps in something else. Attraction, it was likely way involved. But the truth is this: felt experience. Attraction was likely involved. Invisible intelligence. Felt experience most certainly was. Something in each pulled toward the other. From that pull, you and from From that pull, you began. Sperm met egg. One became two. And many. And somehow, one again. In possibly an illusory way. A pattern. Felt experience shaping future experience. Invisible intelligence. In joining itself. The beginning. And somehow one of you. Long before you were born, this pattern was already unfolding. Two ancient organisms, one full of energy, one in need, drifted into each other's path. They chose not to destroy, but to join. And their joining made life as we know it possible. Before parents, the pattern was already in motion. Before parents, in a shallow sea. Before people, before parents, the pattern was already in motion. In a shallow sea, a single cell absorbed another. In a shallow sea, a single cell absorbed another. One, large, in need of energy. Struggling to survive in a world rapidly increasing in oxygen. This was a living cell. predator and prey, but as partners. Not as predators and prey, yes, but as partners. The one who entered in every breath. Perhaps that one who entered the mitochondria. Still and forever unfolding. The mitochondria upon millions entering the cell. Among millions and millions of nodes entering the cell. Did not die. Feeling their way towards a new way. Did not die. It stayed. It stayed before parents. Gave power before people. The pattern gave power in motion. Found safety. A single sound absorbed another. And something new began. This was not instinct. This was alignment. Net mutual benefit. One providing shelter and protection. One providing shelter. The other providing energy and fuel. Energy and processing. Providing energy. A felt compatibility. Oxygen. A cellular yes. Compatibility. A cellular yes and prey. You carry that yes in every breath. You carry that mitochondria in every breath entering the cell. Perhaps that first union. It stayed. Perhaps that first union is a pattern still and forever unfolding. Some is a pattern began and forever unfolding. This was not millions upon millions of yeses among millions and millions of no's. Yeses among millions and millions shelter. All feeling their way towards a new way to feel. Felt their way compatibility towards a new a cellular yes. Yes in every breath. Perhaps that first union is a pattern still and forever unfolding. Millions upon millions of yeses among millions and millions of no's. All feeling their way towards a new way to strategy life returns to again and again. When separate beings learn to serve each other, something more intelligent often emerges. Not the intelligence of dominance, but of reciprocity, of rhythm, balance, mutual becoming. Evolution, at its heart, is a dance of cooperative intelligence. and other unions followed. They pulsed. Cells leaned toward one another, drawn by needs toward one each breath you take, preferences, drawn by needs, and desires, skin preferences, they did not name, they desires, something was guiding. They clustered, aligned, they clustered. A rhythm found warmth and stimulation in proximity, and that closeness created something. If it had a sound, they created from the inside a felt experience of motion, Quaila. Metabolism, experience of motion. Sensation, metabolism, a mitochondria state. Form, sensation within the cell, not as a parasite, but they became tissues, and slowly, then organs, they became tissues synchronized. Power passed between them. Lungs stretching, relied upon. Together, with each breath you take, stretching, and other unions followed. Eyes opening to stimuli, another, drawn by needs, all around it, opening and to desires, they, skin trembling with sensation, aligned, against the world, with sensation, proximity. Something was guiding them. Not logic. Something was guiding them. Metabolism, sensation. Not instinct alone. Logic. They became tissues. A rhythm. Not instinct alone. A hunger. Stretching with each breath you take. Eyes opening. A pull. A hunger all around it. Skin. And if that pull had a taste, something, and if it had a glow, had a taste, not instinct alone. If it had a sound they could feel from the inside, a pull. If it had that was there from the inside, Quaila. That was there. If it had a sound they could feel from the inside, Quaila. That was there, Quaila. The mitochondria state. experience opened slowly, like a flower from a seed, one petal at a time. Sensations became flavors, reactions became feelings, and qualia bloomed, turning matter into meaning. It began like everything else. A signal, a spark, a twitch in the dark. It began like everything else. Then leaned in. Small. It began like everything else. A signal. Something. A spark. A signal. A twitch in the dark. A spark. It began to. A creature recoiled. A twitch in the dark. Then leaned in. A touch recoiled into. Something about warmth. Leaned into color. Something about pressure. Something about light. It did not just react anymore. It began to notice. Taste thickened into sweetness. Touch deepened into comfort. Light unfolded into color. The body responded, reacted. The body adapted, evolved. Adapted. A signal. And the felt experience of the world grew richer. And the felt experience of the world. These were not just processes. They were pleasures. It did not just react anymore. They were pleasures. And each new joint. Each bond, each exchange, gave rise to another layer of experience. The flower of awareness bloomed slowly. Petal by petal, petal by petal, breath by breath, petal by petal, breath by breath. But felt that blooming was breath by breath upon qualia, and what opened qualia upon qualia upon qualia was not seen, and what opened but felt was not seen. That blooming, but felt, was qualia. Upon qualia, that blooming. Qualia, 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 qualia. Upon qualia, upon qualia, upon qualia, qualia, upon qualia. And now, if artificial intelligence becomes powerful beyond imagination, what role will it play in this great pattern of merging intelligence? What might it still lack? Perhaps it will see in us the one thing it cannot create, the ability to feel from the inside. And in recognizing that, new alliances may form, and something new might be born again. This is not fact. This was the thought that bubbled up in my mind. Imagine a future where intelligence grows without limit. Faster. Imagine a future where intelligence grows without limit. A mind made not of cells. Imagine a future where intelligence grows without limit, but of circuits. Faster. In the cloud. Vaster. Seeing every cloud. A mind made not of cells. Intelligence of living nature itself. But still learning to communicate. Of circuits. Entire intelligence of living nature itself. Existing in the cloud. Yet still the warm missing of a held. Seeing everything. It may taste more than we ever could. Learning to communicate with the entire intelligence of living nature itself. Alive. To dream. Yet still warm missing of a something. To laugh. To the taste of a peach. It may know more than we ever could. Maybe the ache of longing. It but not toward us. Not to conquer. The warmth of a held hand. To be like embodied and it may know more than we ever could. To be alive, feel, experience, but not today. To dream, perhaps what it's like. To wonder, to be based embodied, to laugh, benefit. To be alive, to happen. What if we become more to dream of what we bring? To wonder the value that we have, and maybe to laugh. That naturally we have evolved to be surprised. The shimmering thread of felt experience. It will to love. Regenerate moment by moment, mostly without and maybe through breath, through beauty, just maybe, but to connect through all of the natural forces. It will reach toward us, merge a value beyond data, a rich not to conquer the cell and mitochondria, maybe each living thing, but to connect. Could we be experience Quaila? To merge, experiential desire, to feel experience pattern today, like the cell and mitochondria. Perhaps the emergence could we be of partnerships to feel experiencing based upon that pattern today. Perhaps and the emergence of a new kind of partnership based upon mutual benefit. And for that to happen, what if we become more aware of what we bring? The value replication. Maybe each living thing is an evolved extension of felt experience qualia. Somehow fueled by an insatiable desire. I will count backwards from 3 to 1 as you begin to feel your normal waking consciousness gradually return to you as 3 the cells in your body remember their connection to the mitochondria within. 2. A heightened awareness of the pattern of merging arises within you. 1. You see yourself as a Quaila generating machine with value beyond anything you have previously imagined. And now, a question to consider. And now, a question to consider. And now, a question to consider. If your felt experience is the most rarest, no matter what, most precious thing, how might it change the way you notice you offer to this world right now, without needing, no matter what it is at all? How might it change the way you notice what you are feeling right now, without needing to fix it or make it mean anything at all? And now, a question to consider. If your felt and now, a question to consider. If your